Bianca Studios presents Amin and Camille's beautiful black love story. Ladies and gentlemen, we are almost ready. But baby girl said daddy needs a little makeup. So in the meantime, in between time, let me introduce myself to you. I am Bianca. I'm just a gal who loves love. And I'm here to spread love through all of these beautiful black love stories.
Peace. I am Hotep Camyl,
And I'm Camille Perry.
and this is our Black Love Story.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's find out just how this black love story began. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Perry, so tell me, how did this beautiful black love story begin?
Yeah, I can start. Uh, Facebook.
Okay. Shout out to Facebook.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if they still have the feature, but Facebook used to have. I mean, because they're always changing. Facebook used to have a Facebook dating feature, and that's where it's up.
It did not work for me. I do remember that feature. Did not work for me. A lot of crazies. Look what God did for you.
Look,
Okay.
Just takes one.
It just takes
my mom
one.
used to say that all the time. No, for me, yeah, so it was on Facebook dating. But it's funny, a little backstory on my side. I was actually on a session with my therapist maybe a couple months before that. And I was stalked by some guy that I had met. Like, he was calling me and like, oh, I heard your full name on your voicemail and I could find out where you live. And so I'm on the session with my therapist and I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with dating. I'm done with trying. So while I'm on the session, I'm deleting apps. I'm just like, I'm not doing this. I'm done. And I forgot about Facebook dating because it's integrated in the app. And so I got a notification a couple weeks after that, and it was like, oh, you haven't been on in a while. And I was like, for a good reason. And I'm going on the app ready to delete it. And then I see him. Yeah. And I'm ready to delete the app. And then I see him.
Wow. So you had a bad experience. You were about to delete the app, but then you see a message from him. And even though you had all this crazy in your brain, probably thinking like, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should. What made you respond? Oh, y'all want to know what her answer was, don't you? Okay. I'm going to let y'all know. But first, I wanted to have a moment with y'all because online dating can be challenging, much like dating all together. However, taking chances and stepping outside of your box, doing something different, but in a safe way, can lead you right into the arms of the person God created for you. Now, remember, I said in a safe way. So always be cautious and careful when dating online. Respect yourself, be honest, communicate, no games, protect your heart, and choose love, choose wisely. Because real connections and real possibilities are out there. Clearly, because look at this beautiful couple we have before us. Now let me let them finish their love story.
It was actually what he said in his profile. It was, I can't remember exactly, but it was something about the beauty of life. And I would read profiles, and that's my little intro of who you are. That's how you would approach me. And something about the beauty of life was one of his like short poems or something like that. And I think he sent me the first message, and then I responded and asked him about that little four-liner, and it just flowed.
His poeticness.
Got me.
Got you, girl. His poeticness. Okay. Shout out to my baby brother with the poetic style. But you know what? you needed that time because you took time after the therapy appointment. You deleted all those other apps. We talk about isolation and how God will isolate you and He will take things from you. He will put you in a moment of silence so that you can hear clearly and so that you can see clearly. And had you not gone through that, had you not excluded all of those things and all of those other apps, your mind wouldn't have even been able to receive a message like what he had. Because I know, girl, I've been in the dating world, and somebody can be poetic, but if we aren't mentally in that space to receive it, we'll read it and be like, oh, you,
Anyway, you just
yeah,
started my game.
that was cute,
Yep.
but you were able to receive it exactly how he was putting it out there into the world, like genuine. Not just saying it's because it's my baby brother, ladies and gentlemen, but he's genuine. And she was able to receive it in that way, so that's beautiful. What was your first impression of each other?
I'll go. I just thought he was so cute.
Oh.
And I felt actually didn't feel I felt nervous, but it was a good nervous, like an excited nervous.
Mm.
Yeah. I was excited. And I didn't feel like I had to impress him. I felt like I could just be myself.
Yes, that comfortable nervousness then.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Tell the truth.
First impression, I think it was two initial feelings. First one was like, oh, she's not African.
Wait, okay, okay. First thoughts. Okay, first thought.
And then the other one was, oh, she's two. That was,
You gotta explain the African part though.
oh, okay. That shit, yeah. Going to it. So in her profile, she has this African garb scarf, and I assumed from the scarf she was African. I was like,
It was
Oh,
my graduation photo, and I had in my nursing cohort, it was maybe 10 of us total, spread
okay.
all throughout like 4 different specialties.
Uh huh.
And so we all got together and just bought an African stole, a kente stole.
Oh, I love
Yeah. And then
it.
we had to etch like our name and our graduation year. So
Okay,
that's what he saw.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and that had him intrigued.
well,
Okay.
I was just like, she seems cool. She's not African, but that's
You gotta
I
explain
mean, it's
that
killing me.
too. People gonna be like, oh, I don't like this show.
No, no, no. Okay, so yeah, tell me what is it? This is fine. Like, did you want? Is that what you were pursuing? An African woman?
no. It was
Because technically, her DNA is running back to Africa.
right.
Okay.
It was only because my ex-wife is African.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
I was like, I guess I could try.
yeah.
Try not to be like, okay, one bad experience sours the experience for every situation. So
I
was
get it.
open to it.
Yeah.
So I was like a bit more cautious if this turned out to be like, oh, she's African. Let's see.
Yeah.
And
So
then,
it was really like refreshing then.
yeah.
Okay, it was refreshing. Simply because you didn't have to even have those nerves of like I'm going to try this, but honestly there's a little fear here
Right.
because I've had a bad experience. Because even if you we never want to hold anybody to anybody else's caliber of what they've done or who they
Right.
are. However, one thing about life's experiences is they are life lessons.
Right.
And so it kind of teaches you um, to what to be aware of, and clearly that's a whole culture. So we can't like,
Yeah.
and it's a part of our culture. But I
Exactly.
get that the standards, everything. So
Right.
for things to get to where we are today, um, I mean, God designed everything to happen perfectly for it to be this way, hurt feelings and all. He designed for it to be this way because we had to have hurt feelings to even understand. Because honestly, for me, I had to dive into the culture because of that situation to kind of understand. Wait a minute, because I thought we were all one.
That's like with hope.
But yeah, I had no idea that there
That's
was a division. I had no idea that there
it's
was
major.
a different standard. I didn't have. I really was ignorant to all of that until this situation, and so I still, I just, I think for anybody who's looking to date, like really look into a person's culture to
Yeah.
understand it the same way you're looking to understand that person, by the words that they are saying and
Hmm.
how they communicate with you. It's also extremely important to, okay, well, if you from Boston, let me look into Boston. Like, let me look into where you're from.
Right.
Let me understand the dynamic of the people that come from Boston. Let me if you're Italian, let me look into
Yeah.
how Italians are. I think we just, as black people, and this is black love, so I think this is perfect time for this conversation. But as black people, we look at all black people as if we should just all be accepted because,
Right.
Right.
no matter what, I mean, we all come from the same, we as people all come from the same, God, but we come from the same place. So we're looking as African Americans like, okay, if we meet, Africans that are coming over, like, oh,
Right.
okay, these are our people.
Yeah.
And they looking at us like, no, you're not our people,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh my
Love
God.
that.
Like, so it was shocking. So it's understandable that even the sight of the heritage being on her page, like, you probably were like, oh, she is beautiful, but oh, she sounds nice, but okay. So I'm glad that you pushed past that but,
Yeah.
and you allow God to lead you, because He's led you into amazingness.
100%.
Okay, before we even get into this clip, it has to be explained what we're talking about in this moment. I am honoring Sister Yasmin Perry, who was my very first babysitter. Actually, no, not my first babysitter, because I had a babysitter in North Carolina, but Sister Yasmin was my first babysitter here in Baltimore. And she was such a beautiful, gentle soul. And her son is Amin, who I am interviewing, who became my baby brother. Amin reminds me so much of Sister Yasmin, as she was so laid back, soft spoken, and as I said before, gentle. She was a beautiful, beautiful soul who still lives on through her beautiful children. Okay, here is the
Okay.
clip. Let me tell you, Sister Yasmin, may Allah be pleased with her, and may Allah bless her to the highest state of Jannah. I mean, um, her presence from the very first time she walked in my house, I was 6, I think, 6 years old, maybe, yeah, I was like 6. And I remember coming home from school. My mom's like, she was sitting there, and Amin was hanging on her, or hanging off the chair, like trying to get her to pick him up. And it's probably like 2. I think you were 1 or 2. And so I was looking at her like, this is like the most beautiful woman. She was so beautiful. And I had never seen anybody covered before. So she's also the first person I've seen covered, first Muslim woman I've seen. And she was just so peaceful.
I
It
get
was
that from the
just,
3 pictures I've seen.
I mean,
It is heavy.
yes. Even like, I get chills just thinking about her. Like, her presence was so peaceful. It's like his presence is the same. So it's like,
Yeah.
how could you even feel negative around him? How could you be negative around him? How could you be mean to him? You know what I mean? Like, he's so peaceful. And I'm not ignorant to the fact that behind closed doors, people could be somebody else. I'm not ignorant to the fact that we grow, and, I may be one way like this, but when I go in the house with my wife and children, I could be another way. But I've known him since he was hanging off his mother, and I've never seen a different shade of him. So when people talk about a different character of him, you gonna have to prove that to me. I'm gonna need to see some video
But that's
footage
the
or
thing that
something,
I learned
because
last night because I spoke about his heart and how peaceful he is, and
Yes.
everything that he's been through,
Yeah.
he remains consistent. And that's something I prayed for. I want
Yes.
to, what I call it, three C's: chivalry, which just put yourself in my shoes.
Yeah.
For some instances, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't make everything all about, like, don't make it one sided in a relationship.
Yeah.
So chivalry, consistency. So, and you get in a relationship, you're all in, and then you kind of fizzle out. I don't want that. If you're all in,
Exactly.
be all in. We'll work
Exactly.
through it.
Exactly.
If you're not, cool. You know, my
Right.
mama said you just need one.
Yeah.
And communication. And he has been consistent from what I heard last night, from what I saw, from what my family has seen, and from what you guys saw for 37 years. I don't like when I say it's
Yeah.
age.
Yes.
But
It's very
I was just
consistent.
like, okay.
Yeah.
Even more like, okay, I was blessed with this man.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even my decision. It's kind of just like, it was my decision because I could have messed it up. But God just kept ordering the steps.
Yeah.
We both could have messed it up because
Yeah.
our fear.
Yeah.
But
Because fear is heavy.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And the vows were absolutely beautiful. And I'm happy you guys wrote your own vows, and I'm happy that you wrote your vows from truly like a place from your heart, not from like what is supposed to be said or the cute little stuff. It was in depth, and I love that about your vows, and it speaks volumes on how much you really genuinely love each other. Because a lot of times we will love. Out of vulnerability, we will love out of necessity, we will love out of desire, but you can tell that you genuinely love because you love. Like, this is what I want to do. This is not what I have to do. A lot of people will love because they have to, because their fear will keep them in places and spaces that they are afraid to get out of because they don't want to be alone. And not to knock that, because I always tell people, like, don't be afraid that you don't want to be alone, because God created a man and a woman. He created Adam and Eve for a reason. We're supposed to be together. You're not supposed to be alone, but not everybody is your person. So be okay with moving out of a space into a place that is better for you, but instead of staying because of fear and because of,
Yeah.
move to a safer place.
Yeah.
Because one thing for certain is
Go where
God.
you're loved.
Yes, yeah, and go where you are seen,
And where you love yourself.
Yes.
That was
Yes.
one thing that I always prayed for. I want to look in the mirror and still like who I am.
Yeah.
And that's what I felt with him.
Yes.
I didn't look in the mirror and like, okay, let me change this. And her like, let me do this. And her like, I never felt that with him.
And that's beautiful. And that's another reason why this is my person. Because when it's not your person, you are always fixated on how to be for that person. Like, let me be perfect. Like, let me put on some lip gloss real quick.
My brows weren't on. My hair was in a little twist.
Oh.
He didn't tell that part. That's probably why he just
Okay,
said
wait.
she was so beautiful. Because I was looking her up.
Okay, let's go.
Your person. So many people spend their lives searching for someone to love them, when what they're really searching for is the person God intentionally created for them. There is a difference. Your person isn't someone you chose simply because you're afraid of being alone or because their attention makes you feel wanted. Validation can feel comforting, but it can never replace purpose. Finding your person requires work. It requires healing. It requires letting go of old wounds, unhealthy patterns, unrealistic expectations, and becoming the person God is calling you to be. I truly believe that when God sends your person, He doesn't always announce them with fireworks. Sometimes they arrive quickly in the most unexpected way. You may not recognize them at first. You may even overlook them. But when the time is right, when healing has done its work, when God opens your heart and your eyes, there comes a moment that is simply undeniable. A peace you've never known, a friendship unlike any you've ever experienced, a love that doesn't require you to pretend, chase, or prove your worth. You simply know, because what God has joined together doesn't just satisfy your loneliness, it speaks to your soul. It is a blessing to see that God has gifted Amin and Camille to find their person. So, what was your first impression of each other?
So we agreed to go to this desert area to see what was supposed to be this amazing sight of cactus that glow in the sunlight. And you had to get there at a certain time in the morning. So we had to be up early. So I chose to, she was living in the desert at the time, so I chose to drove all the way to the desert to meet her. And my plan was to sleep in the car because I wanted to be respectful and not be like, the place that we're going is closer to where you live, so I can sleep in your house and we can go there from there. I was just like, I'll just sleep in the car and then wait till we're ready to go and then we can go there. And she was like, oh no, I got a air mattress in here. You can sleep in the air mattress in the living room. I was like, are you sure? Also, because being from Baltimore, it's like, am I getting set up? Is somebody gonna rob me? You know, that's all of that starts kicking in. Like, I'm going out to the desert by myself. This could be a major setup, but when I pulled up to the complex, I was like, it's a gated community situation. Maybe I'm not gonna get robbed in this area. So my girl was let down a bit more.
Okay.
And, I pulled up, and then she came out, and she was in her natural state. You know, so she was like, it was
I think she still remembers what I wore.
Yeah, it was a sweatshirt and some sweatpants, and you know, of course, I was like, I'm gonna go meet this girl. I'm gonna dress up.
Of course, I already know you, brother. you to the nines, okay, in the desert.
It was 1 a.m., okay?
At 1 a.m.
And so I was like, oh, okay.
He didn't see the beauty yet.
Okay. This is nice. I do love. One thing I know that you do appreciate is you appreciate black women. So you probably had that appreciation, like, okay, she's a real black woman. Okay.
My hair was into it.
Yes. Like, okay, I can. Okay, it's probably okay. That was probably how he was. And he's
I'm so sorry.
Get to see what you're getting.
Yeah.
So you can immediately. That's how I saw it. Like, I could immediately be like, she's ugly. I'm saying that's what I could have done. Like, let me just.
And I was like, if he's scared off by this at 1 a.m., I wasn't about to.
Then he is not the one. And he is not the one.
I wanted to feel comfortable.
Yes.
But I did already feel comfortable because the conversation that we had probably 2 to 3 weeks before we actually met in person was calming, consistent, fun, light. So I was like, well, you know, I don't want to put on makeup at 1 o'clock in the morning when I'm waking up to go get him.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Okay.
I brushed my teeth.
And that's what matters. She did not come outside with funky breath. She came outside with some nice breath and her all naturalness. And clearly it worked because look, y'all. How has your past relationships helped you both in this relationship?
I guess I'll go. I gotta think about that. So honestly, I didn't have too many relationships.
Okay.
Right before him, I dated a guy for about almost a year. I guess really listening to my early self, because he was not the one for me, but I think it was a little bit about, ooh, you're 30, like maybe you should start, because I focused so much on school in my 20s and all of that, and I was like, okay, well, you're 30, maybe you should start trying to date. And I guess he would say the right things, but it was a part of how he would make me feel is that I wasn't good enough. And I was like, I never want to feel that with anybody because I'm not always going to be this, have the hair put together, the makeup put together, feel put together emotionally and all that stuff. And I'm going to have moments that I'm sad. My mom was diagnosed a little bit before I met him with Alzheimer's, and she's young. And I felt like I couldn't really feel the weight of that because she was my best friend when I was around him. I had to kind of separate the two. If I wanted to do anything as a couple or as a family, kind of bring him because he was in the military and away from his family. So I'm like, okay, well, you know, if you wanted to spend time with my family, it was always a fight. I don't want to be with your family. I want to be with my family. So, okay, well, I'm not taking you away. It was just so. I think really learning to listen to myself and trust myself, and that if that person wasn't the right person, that's okay. It's okay. Nothing wrong with me. We just don't work well together. That's okay. So when I met him, I think that's why I was much more relaxed and calm. And I could really like just listen to myself and listen to how he made me feel and how I felt around him rather than me trying to force feelings to happen. It just, I'm like, okay, well, if he's for me, he's for me. If he's not, okay, you learn something else.
Um, so my past relationship was a 10-year marriage, and hindsight has definitely taught me a lot. I think one of the main things that I learned was building a good foundation, and that's something that I really wanted to do and was intentional about us doing when we started to get further into the relationship, doing marriage classes and couples counseling, because my marriage wasn't built on foundation. It was built on, well, it depends on how the other questions you're going to ask. This story could answer a bunch of different questions.
Okay.
So, but it was not built on a good foundation, and that was a major lesson.
When did you guys realize that this was becoming something more serious than just a little relationship? This could be forever.
Ooh.
I'll let you tell your version.
I feel like it was pretty. When I look back, I feel like it was early on, which again scared me because I never felt that before, so I didn't know what I was feeling. But I think it was around Father's Day. We were probably 6 to 7 months in our relationship, and his custody battle was starting to like really kick off and stress him out. And um, he got scared. He's like, I don't think I can do this. Like, I can't do this. And I was just like, no, you're not about to give up on us because you're afraid of that. Separate the two, whatever time you need. Then if this isn't working out, that's fine. I'm not gonna hold you. But we're not one and the same. So and I never said that before. Like, if you want to go, you go. Like, but I I knew that he really cared about me, and I obviously really cared about him. But you can see this pain, and he was just like, "I'm about to ruin somebody else's life." Like, that's pretty much what he said. He was like, "I'm gonna mess things up for you, and I don't want to pull you into this." And I was just like, "Figure that out. I'm here." But that's not a definition of what we can be and who we have been in the past. I think it was 7 months by that time.
So that is definitely a prominent moment, and that was very beautiful how you handled it and graceful. And um, I'm happy that you did handle it that way because he probably would have been allowed fear to move him away from who God designed for him. You know, so what did you feel in that moment when she said that to you? How did you feel? How were you able to receive that? and really go forward with it without letting fear mess that up.
I'll explain it, but I may leave some things out because your memory is better than mine. But and also I'm gonna try and make it not long-winded. So you can turn into a tangent. So the child custody thing was my worst fear, as because I had been through that as a kid, child custody, and I was like, people go through their lives and they're like, my worst fear is dying alone, or my worst fear is, any random things you could say. And before I had even had kids, I was like, my worst fear would be my kids having to go through court and me having to fight the custody battle. And to see that come to fruition, was a nightmare to the point where I started to get sick. I started to have like vertigo issues, which then affected my work, which was a catalyst because I'm a driver, and it's like I can't drive because I'm starting to get sick, I'm starting to get stressed, I'm not able to sleep. It was just a large catalyst of things, and so I went to therapy and had a life coach at the same time to try and be able to manage the stress that it was causing me being in a situation of child custody. And just the fear that I was going through in that clouded my judgment as far as trying to maintain the relationship that I was in with. It was like, I'm really liking this person, but all of my fears are coming true, which is like, with all of my fears are coming true, then my mind state was like, then that'll keep happening. And my fears will continue to come true in the next relationship because the worst imaginable thing to me is happening. So why wouldn't it continue to happen in this new relationship? So I utilize therapy and the life coach to kind of work on separating those two things. Like, I'm dealing with a child custody, but that doesn't mean that I can't be in a flourishing relationship and have a future. Because of that fear, I ended up breaking up with her like 3 times.
It was 3. I remember.
She said, "Oh no, I remember."
It hurt every single time.
Yes, but when I would break up with her, then I would be stalking her Instagram. It was just like the fears of being like, I don't want to ruin a person's life, but then also being like, I feel an emptiness by this person not being with me, and trying to figure out which one to follow. And it's like, because I was in the mindset, fear was taking over, and the fear was like, you don't want to do this, you don't want to ruin somebody's life, you might end up moving back to the East Coast, so you don't want to start something and then have to leave it. It was all these random things, and just being able to use therapy and the life coaching to give me tools to try and make sure that I manage that fear, not taking over everything. So that's, I don't know if that answered the question.
It did.
Oh, okay.
It did. That was good. That was some real honesty, authentic honesty. And I hope and pray that anybody, because men and women, we all go through those channels of fear, especially when we enter relationships after a breakup, and when we enter relationships with children. From that breakup, there is so many layers of fear and so many layers of healing that has to take process in order for us to get past that fear and to also be able to properly move forward. And I think that's also, like, in itself a whole nother stage. Like, you got to heal from the prior relationship, then you have to heal from the things that are happening from that relationship. It's just so much. So I'm very proud of you for doing the life coach and for doing therapy and for even speaking that in this moment, because a lot of people fear that. They fear going and sharing themselves and their thoughts and their life with a stranger. But I always tell people God designed all of us perfectly, and He designed people to be able to go and become life coaches and to go and become therapists so they could be there for the people that would need them, because we gonna go to Him for everything, but He's designed other people to help us through. So we gotta be smart enough, and we gotta be understanding enough that it's important for us to go to the people that He designed to do that. The same way, if you have a heart condition, you're gonna go to a heart doctor,
Right.
so if you're having some mental health issues, which is our minds racing because of all that's going on, then it's important to go to that person that specializes in the brain and in psychology to help us through those moments. So definitely commendable that you did that. And of course, that definitely was a major ingredient into the recipe of you two being able to be where you are today.
What role does trust play in your relationship?
Everything. I need to be able to trust you with my heart. I think that was a scary thing about love for me because I had been so independent and I took care of everything myself. I was my own superhero. And I remember actually early on seeing everything that he did. I would call him like, "Oh, you're Superman. Like this, you're really cool." Um, and kind of breaking that part of myself down for him to be my superhero, um, because he allowed me to trust him at my own pace.
Mm.
Uh, Trust with coming to him when I was in early postpartum and trying to understand my new self, and him holding space for me in that when he was trying to learn that too. Um, Trust with his heart, with his kids. Oh my God. Because I met his kids pretty early on too. And I thank him all the time. Like, now that I'm a mom, I'm afraid to have her go anywhere. What did you see in me that you're like, okay, okay. So that was huge. And I don't take that for granted at all. I thank him all the time for allowing me to really get to know them. And, there's times I'm like, okay, I just want to take them out. Like, can I just go do something? Like, yeah, have fun. Like yeah. It's not just me trusting him. It's just us creating this circle of trust within each other and being able to go to each other about anything.
What is something that your partner does instantly, without hesitation or much thought, that makes you feel loved?
I can mention something. Oh, I need to do this. I need to do that. And it's done. It's immediately done. And I'll do that I know some people will do that to kind of subliminally tell their partners, but I will speak my list out loud. Like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do this. And it's done. Every single time. And I'll come back and I'm like, oh, thank you. I was going to do that. And he's like, I know. I got it. Every single time.
Um, I think any moment that she speaks life into me, that's, I mean, there's certainly within the last few years been a lot of really intense times, and those times really matter most. It's not something that I really had in the last relationship. I mean, I guess also I didn't have those same type of difficulties in the last relationship, because a lot of the difficulties now are fallouts from the last relationship. But those moments of just getting life spoken into me.
Those are the most valuable moments, because that is also her heart speaking to yours, her spirit speaking to yours, and the reassurance that she wants the best for you, as opposed to like, you ain't shit. Like, oh my God, if you're in a relationship with someone who is just telling you all the things that are wrong with you and telling you all of the negative things that they see about you, it's like that is a notion to move. But if you're with someone who is speaking life into you, that is the notion that, okay, this is from God and this is for me, because we all need that. We all beat ourselves up so much mentally about our own, like, oh my goodness, I need to do this, or I should have did this, or I could have done that, or am I good enough. But to have a person that is next to you to speak life into you is beautiful and it's priceless. So I'm glad you said that, because that's perfect. And on the other hand, to be able to say, I need to do, and it's done. I know there's a lot of people that are probably watching this in this moment thinking, okay, well, how do I get one of those? Like, where do I go and get where do I go and get one of those? Because it's a blessing to know that even if you can't, he will. And even if you can, he will. And that's a blessing.
I feel seen. Like I feel like he, honestly, sometimes even when I don't say it, he can just kind of pick it up. Yeah. Especially in this postpartum era, finding out that a lot of husbands are not like that. It's like, how did I get so
It
blessed?
should be natural for everyone, but it's just natural. Like, I want her to rest. I don't want her to be overwhelmed. I don't want her to be overworked. I don't want her to be mentally overwhelmed, and stressing on how am I going to get these things done. The moment she says, like, I need to do X, Y, and Z, you're probably naturally wanting to make sure X, Y, and Z is done. And honestly, that allows you to be a better version of yourself, for you, for your baby, and for him.
Yeah.
So it's like a win-win. Because if you are trying to get X, Y, and Z done, and he already knows that you're a wife, you're a mom, so I already know she has a lot on her plate. So let me try and knock off X, Y, and Z, because if I don't, then it's gonna be a little rough around here, And a lot of people wonder why their wives are walking around angry and tired and in pain and miserable and unhappy. And it's simply because that need for the weight to be a little bit taken off of your shoulders is always naturally there, but not everybody gives their wife or their girlfriend or their child's mother the space to be vulnerable enough to say, I need this. I need you to take this weight off my shoulders. So him showing up without you even having to ask him to show up is a blessing.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it got a tad bit nippy outside, so we had to go in. So just rock out with us from here on out as we get to know more about this beautiful couple. I truly hope you're enjoying the show. Okay, here is the next question. But first, when I created this question, I was truly a bit afraid of how couples would take the question. But each couple has answered beautifully. Let's see what their answer will be. If God revealed to you that one of you would have to leave this world and one of you could stay, the person that leaves is the person that will be your spiritual guide, and the person that stays has to listen to the person that leaves as their guide. Who would leave and who would stay? Now, just a little Bianca advice. Love deeper than the fear of losing. Whether you stay or go, your love, your legacy, and your guidance will live on. Today, choose to cherish, honor, and lead each other in love, because that's what makes a bond unbreakable. Now, who's leaving and who's staying?
I would probably leave.
I was thinking the same thing because I think the way
Oh,
that he
wow.
sees, no, not that, no, 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 no. No, I love you. It made me feel. Because when you said that, I'm like, I don't want him to go. I don't want either one of us to.
Right,
No,
you
but the
don't.
way that he sees things, I would follow him.
It's a good flip.
No, it wasn't the flip. That was the completion of the sentence.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the way. I mean, even just planning a wedding, like the way that he would see things, like, oh, Okay, I like that. He just sees things differently. And I'm like, okay, I'm so grateful for him. Like I can like break myself down and listen. Yep. He would guide me.
That was cool.
I'm thinking that when your quiet spirit guides, I think you would make me sit and wait for direction and like be patient the same way that God does. Sit down, child.
Yeah, be patient. Yeah. In your opinion, what makes relationships beautiful and powerful?
I would say choosing each other every day. That's what makes it powerful. Because especially what we were talking about earlier in our climate, it's so easy to say, just be done with it. They messed up. But your partner's not gonna be perfect. But to wake up, to choose each other and to communicate through whatever it is, and then sit down and pray about it, I think that's the power.
Mm.
I would say holding space in dark times. You can hold space for each other in the hardest times, then it'd be a whole lot easier in times where it's hard.
Yeah.
You can use that to build longevity.
Absolutely. What advice would you give couples going through a difficult season in their relationship?
I would say it depends on what season they're going through. The type of advice I would give.
Okay.
Yeah, every situation is different.
It is. It is.
It's hard to kind of give. For me, it's hard to give blanket advice because it's like depending on the situation, I might say one thing, I might say something else.
That's very true. That's such an authentic answer. That's such a real answer. Because I think cliche answer could be, stick it out, pray about it, which prayer is everything. So no matter what, that's an answer. Pray about absolutely everything. Because if you pray, then you already headed in the right direction, no matter which way you go.
Right.
Asking God to lead you is super important. And I would just give you guys that advice. Okay, I was asking y'all for the advice, but I would give you guys that advice as a newly married couple, like in difficult seasons, because there will be difficult seasons. That's life. We're people, and we go through things, each and every day. With every breath we take, something changes, within us. And another thing I've learned in relationship, within myself in a relationship, is that every day I am a different version of myself. Every day I'm going to be a different version of myself. Even throughout the day, I'm going to be a different version of myself. So understanding that tomorrow Camille is going to be a different version of herself. The real question is, can you love every version of her? Are you dedicated to loving every version of her? And even if it is a version of her that you are not happy with, that you don't like, well, are you dedicated to making sure that she understands, well, wait a minute, Camille, communicating with her that this version of you is kind of being a hindrance to me, and the same to you, because you all have signed the dotted line yesterday, okay? Y'all signed that dotted line, now is where that question is, that understanding is implemented into your brain and your heart and your soul and your spirit, that like, okay, I have to love Amin tomorrow, even if, and that if is anything, even if, because I have dedicated myself to him for the rest of my life. So that means tomorrow, if he decides he wants to wear pink from head to toe and he loves it and I hate it,
That'd be wild. It's a lot of pink.
that's a lot of pink.
Dye your beard and everything. Pink try look good.
Listen, even in a pink suit, okay? And if that's what you want, and look, she just answered that question. Like, no matter what it is that you decide to do tomorrow, who you decide to be tomorrow, that version of you is still going to require her love. It's still going to require her acceptance. It's still going to require her support. The same way right now, you guys are touching, have hands, you're connected. Like tomorrow, if you come down here in a pink suit, we won't want to see Camille shift
to the other side of that. We don't want to see that, So the best advice that I could give you guys from a married person to a married person on um, what advice to give in a tough season is to just already prepare yourself that there could be tough seasons to come. So I need to make sure that I know what you just said earlier, Camille, like past relationships, you could just be like, oh, I'm done with it, but not that I'm done with it, but not only am I not done with it, I am going to do the work to make sure that I am in it in a positive way, in a way that is going to allow my relationship to thrive and to be healthy and to be successful, as opposed to I'm just going to ride the wave. No, y'all not just riding a wave together. Y'all making sure that wave is going to fit the both of you together. You understand? So, yeah, that would be my advice to you guys.
And I said that I would go because I have a long list of people that have already passed. And so I'd be able to have help and guide her to all of them.
I mean,
I'm not gonna cry.
Okay, let me ask some random questions. Are y'all ready? Let's go. Wait, but before we do, a little advice. Stay open, stay real, and never stop choosing each other. Great relationships are built on honesty, faith, laughter, and a whole lot of grace. Keep growing together. Okay, let's go.
so who said I love you first?
Oh, me.
It was you. How did you feel when she said I love you?
Shocked me. It was during the time I was going through all of my fears.
Okay.
I couldn't express it because I was in a moment of fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And the reason why I said it is because I thought I had been feeling it very strongly for a long time. I don't think the word had really settled yet. But it was one of those moments, again, going back to my mom being sick. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. And if this is how I feel, like, let me say it.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't say it with an expectation of it being said in return. Like, it was just, that's how I feel. That's it. Period.
Yeah.
I didn't say it to kind of like try to draw him in. That's how I felt for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is it, but I do want you to know that you are loved.
Yeah.
Because he was not feeling that.
Yeah.
And we were sitting in the car, and he was just kind of going over his fears, and we just sat there for a second. I was like, okay, well, I've been feeling this for a while. I don't know if this is the last time we're going to talk.
Yeah.
I want to give you that space.
Yeah.
I do love you.
Yeah.
And then he was silent. I was watching the time. It felt like 20 minutes. It felt like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It probably was.
Waiting.
But
Yeah.
I didn't want him to feel like he had to say it back.
Yeah.
And I don't think he said it back for a couple more months.
Okay.
It was a couple more months. But I felt it. I
Yeah.
felt it. So it wasn't like, oh, he doesn't love me and I'm just... You'll say it when you want it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fine. But I knew that if that was the last time that we saw each other, I wanted you to know that that's how I felt. And that was it. Nothing
Yeah.
else. No other expectations behind it.
Oh, damn.
I put the timer on.
How much
Talk to me, please.
how much time do you need to process what I just said? Okay.
And I would ask him, like, okay, I said all that. It's been a minute, and I'm getting anxious. So, we give you your time. So
Yes.
if I know that I have a certain amount of time, and even if in 3 hours you're like, I need more time, cool. I just need to check in. So,
Yeah.
But that took time to know what I needed.
Yeah.
That took some time to know what I need. That took some sessions of therapy.
Yeah.
It's like, well, Camille, what do you need? I'm like, well, just something.
Yeah.
I love you. An
Yeah.
emoji. I don't care. Just
Yeah.
don't make me feel like, I guess a little bit of that anxious attachment. Like, don't make me feel like I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay, you messed up. I'm done. I'm out of here.
Abandonment is like the worst, like you just said. Well, it's not, because you just said earlier, like, your biggest fears were for other people could be all these different things, but your biggest fear was a battle over your children, but for women, and I'm just speak for women because I'm a woman, abandonment is like our biggest fear. Like, are you going to leave us? Like, are you going, if I move the wrong way, say the wrong thing, if I'm not, are you going to abandon me? So you kind of overcame that. Well, you did, like, I'm not going to be abandoned because you're not going anywhere. Let me think of a different way. Like, let me work through this in a different way. But that having that trust that you talked about earlier comforts that fear, and again, that signed paper yesterday.
I'm not gonna go nowhere, even if the paper was signed or not
Okay,
signed.
okay,
Well,
flick the hair, sis. Flick the hair, sis. Okay, so we already asked who said I love you first. We know that was Camille, and then Amin took 3 months to say I love you back. We ain't mad at him though. We know he laid back and chill. Which one of you takes the longest to get ready? And this is a real question because I usually think I know the answer. Really?
100%.
Okay, because he's always like GQ. So
Well, he preps the night before, so that counts.
Pre-planned.
He'll
Oh,
lay
it's
out his clothes the night before.
okay, get that. Okay, which one of you is the bigger baby when you're sick?
No, it's probably.
It's you. Okay. Okay.
I still think he's so tough when he's sick too.
You do?
Yeah, I like power through.
I'm always feeling bad.
Okay. Which one of you spends the most unnecessary money? Of course. I remember our conversations yesterday, so as I was reading it, I was like, "Ooh, okay."
I see money, I'm like, ooh, Amazon.
Immediately. Which one of you is more likely to start an argument over being hungry?
No. Well, when he's hungry, he falls asleep over me. Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm sorry. I told him. I was like, I'm just letting you know. Yeah, he falls asleep. If I come up with something unnecessary, just give me some tacos, and it'll probably be okay.
And it'll be okay. You should have tacos on deck. Like, what? Which partner is more dramatic? You are theatrical, so I get that. Like, you're super theatrical, so I would expect you to be that way.
It depends on the situation.
It depends.
He's drama.
I don't know how.
All the voices.
Yes.
I mean, that's artistic.
That's different. That's different. That's artistic. Okay, what is the funniest argument you guys have ever had? Like, just the craziest argument. You know how you argue over something dumb?
They're all dumb.
Oh.
When you look at it, it's like they're all
Okay. Halloween candy.
Halloween candy?
Oh.
How could that even?
Postpartum.
Oh,
Postpartum.
everything's an
Did a
argument
number on
postpartum.
me.
Okay, that's
That
all you had to
first
say.
year was wild.
That's all you had to say. If your relationship was a song, what would it be?
Oh.
You know songs better than I
The song that I walked down the aisle to.
Oh,
is
Patience.
Patience.
By Chaos.
When we watched this video back, patience was absolutely everything that your relationship has been. Patient. You've been patient with each other, patient to this day. Love that. That's a perfect song, which is why you chose to walk down the aisle to it, clearly. Who is the better cook?
Yeah. And I'm just starting to cook stuff.
Okay.
For the past year, he's been cooking almost all my dinners.
Oh, okay. Bravo.
Yeah.
Okay, if you could roast your partner in a loving sentence, what would you say? Camille didn't even try to bat her lips. She put her ear. I want to hear what you have to say. It's a loving roast.
No.
Now let you go first. Engage.
Okay, something that I think I've only mentioned to him once, but I think when he gets nervous and when he doesn't have shoes on, his toes are so flexible. His toes can go all the way under and go back and go. And I'm like, babe.
Wow. Okay.
He's probably
So
doing
He
it.
is. Your foot is moving.
He's always moving his feet.
That's
He's always moving
crazy.
his feet.
crazy.
We were on a
See that
call. Yeah, we were on a call with one of our vendors, and I was like,
Oh, the money probably. Yeah. The money probably had him doing that. You know, when you're doing those vendors during the wedding, it's like every time you hear a vendor's voice, it's like, oh my god. Okay,
fine.
come on.
It's loading.
He's like, which one do I want to say without her being mad?
It's loading.
You gotta come back to that one.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
circle back.
Okay, we're gonna start kiss 2 first. You.
He
boy.
said, I gotta go into this.
Allegedly.
He know. My memory's
Not
better than him.
our-
So he was on his way out after our first date. So that first date, we spent the whole day together. We went from 1 a.m. probably to like 10 or 11 p.m. So he's on his way out. He dropped me off at my apartment. He's on his way out. And he's just like standing there at the top of the stairs. And he's like, so we gonna make out or what?
There was a prequel to There was a prequel to that. It wasn't
That's
just
your
it wasn't out
brother.
of nowhere.
It was out of
Not
nowhere.
my
It
baby
wasn't out of
brother.
nowhere. It was
No.
she gave a lot of signs. She was like, "Oh, you're just gonna leave." I was like,
Because I like being around him.
I gotta do something. And so I was like, I don't know how to get into a kissing situation.
I wanted him to say that at the altar. Like, are we gonna make out or what? Because like I tease him all the time.
Threw me back. Okay, what is the one thing that is missing that could bring you guys closer, if anything?
More kids, more money.
More kids, more money, and I think more time with just ourselves. Because from the beginning,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
never really just
Certainly
us. It was him dealing with custody stuff, and then
And now
2
you
years
got a
later, it was her.
baby.
Right.
So I think
Yeah.
more time of just us staring at each other and be like, "Oh, we don't have to do anything right now." It'd be so nice.
Mm.
That was ever an anniversary gift. Take our kids.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Just for like
Y'all should
3
just
hours, honestly. I don't even need a full day.
do a nice trip to Baltimore for your anniversary, and you can have a whole weekend. Just keep calling, like, hey, let me check in, and listen, she'll be perfectly fine. You know, there's a tribe there, so you know she'll be good. Okay. Would you kiss your significant other when you first wake up without brushing your teeth?
We do all the time.
Really?
And I feel so bad for him. But he'll be the one that leans in, and I'm like,
Very chill.
I'll be trying to like talk under his chin so he doesn't get offended.
It's very chill. It's not a breathy kiss.
What is something that you disliked about your partner in the beginning of your relationship that you actually fell in love with?
I wouldn't say dislike, but I thought it was interesting, her ability to dance anywhere, which I think is awesome. It just shows her ability to be free.
I think I embarrassed him in a couple targets. Just dancing to background music.
It's dope. I yearn to get to that point.
Of freeness.
Because I mean, my freeness has always been relegated to being like, if I'm dancing or something, it's gonna be on stage, and on a stage is its own sort of safe place because it's kind of a time and place that people are expecting it. And if you're dancing randomly anywhere, it's unprotected. So I'm always kind of thinking about that.
It's very true.
I think with that, something that, again, I wouldn't say I dislike, but I think I didn't like how he thought so much about what other people thought about him. 'Cause I thought he was great. And I'm like, why do you care about, like, he would say how he dresses. He's like, well, I don't want people to think. And it's like, well, you dress how you want because it makes you feel good. Um, but now knowing, I like it because he has a certain standard for himself. So kind of flipping that and not so much about what other people think, but it's like, well, this actually is how I want to feel about myself too. So I take a little time thinking about that.
What is your partner's funniest habit? What does your partner do that is totally quirky but is funny to you?
Twerks everything.
She twerked at the wedding last night. I thought. Okay.
It's a gospel song. It's like,
To the gospel for the Lord. Oh my
God is
goodness.
like, and she goes,
Yep. That's one of mine.
okay.
Yep, that's one of mine. She's twerking. Okay. What is something that Amin does?
I love all his quirks. Okay, I was actually teasing about this because he said that he got it from me. But like when he's thinking about something and the word escapes him, he's like, he uses his hands a lot. It's like, oh my God, I just think it's so cute.
Oh my gosh, you've
like a
done that
little-
forever. I've
Yeah.
seen it. I know what you're
so
talking
it was
about.
him.
Yeah.
It is so cute to me. I don't even know what he's talking about. Once he starts doing this, I'm like, I don't know, son, what anymore? It's so cute.
Okay, if the two of you were on the show Survivor, which one of you would survive?
Me.
Me.
No. This is where the drama comes in. He don't like bugs. He don't like the outdoors.
Yes, she.
But I can survive off of eating a little bit.
No.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's true. I eat a lot.
Oh my goodness. I was gonna say you because you lived in the desert. I feel like you're close to.
I hated it.
Oh, you hated it. Well, he came up there.
Said,
Okay.
who could survive?
Yeah, who could survive it though? Yeah.
Who could be more successful at doing it is her.
Okay.
But he is really
But
the way he thinks. I was like, oh, I didn't think about that. Okay.
I need a clean bathroom.
I need a shower every night.
Oh, he
Yeah.
is giving up early on Survivor. He is
He's like, wait, a
that
hole?
was. Yeah, you giving up early.
leaf?
Yeah, you giving up early. You just told that like definitely her. That's why definitely her. You giving up early on Survivor. Who would win an argument with absolutely no facts given?
Probably him. Because he just won't say anything. And I'll be like, talk to me. So he would just win.
Yeah, I can
with
see
no
that.
facts given.
Because he didn't say
Probably me
nothing.
then. Just based on pure emotion.
Oh yeah, because you're speaking off of
You have a
emotion.
better memory than I do, so
I do. No, I am very factual. Because I can remember where we were sitting, how we were sitting. It's really weird. And he's like, that's not the order of how I went. I'm like, no, this is how I went because I was sitting right here looking at you like this.
Oh
So
wow,
the
okay.
argument would go like that. And I'm like, wait, what are we arguing about?
Okay, that should have been like the funniest argument because y'all just arguing.
And then I'm like, can you kiss me? Can you just hold me?
Aww.
And he was like, oh.
That was another question. Who would end the argument first? It would be you. Okay.
I would try. It happened.
Yes.
Who
Yes.
would try?
I'm like, no, you gotta answer that last question.
Yes.
And he would just hold me.
Oh, that's so
He was
sweet.
like, I really love you.
The
Aw.
argument ends when she's ready for it to end.
Oh, stop.
I will try to end it first.
It's ended before we go to sleep. We
That's
try we try not to do that.
Yeah, don't go to bed
And he'll be
angry.
like, I'm done. And I'm like, it's 3 o'clock, we gotta finish this.
Oh my goodness,
We've done
not
that
dr-
once.
okay.
We've done that
No,
once. Yeah,
no,
this is
Grace
before
and
light.
space.
Now we're
Go to
just like,
sleep. Go to
go to
sleep.
sleep.
Yeah, but you still don't want to really go to sleep. Not that. But
No, we
I
at least
love
like
it.
give each other a hug.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Or at least like we gotta end it with some connection. This, I'm
Yeah,
like, touch my leg, something.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Keep that.
Yeah.
Keep that going. Okay. Finish this sentence. Our relationship is like because. So that's two words you're going to fill the blank with. Our relationship is like, and then because.
Our relationship is like a roller coaster because kids.
Okay. And that is factual. Kids will. No, seriously. Okay. All right. Is that how you want
I
to
was
finish?
going to say our relationship is like water. That's the first thing that came to mind because it just constantly flows.
Oh,
I'm a poet.
you are poetic.
It does. Since the beginning, it flows. Like even when we hit waves, like it just
Flows.
That should have been my answer.
it's okay.
Because you're the poet. Because you're.
No. I've been a
Trying
poet
to be
before you,
comical,
so.
and that was kids be crazy. It's going up and down.
No, they do. And they have you going up and down, like in the relationship, because you're on their way. It keeps the spark alive in your relationship.
Herbie and Goofy, I guess.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing. Like we are always laughing. Like we can just look at each other and just bust out laughing, and not because of each other. It's just like I don't know. We just feel comfortable.
I love that. That's perfect,
And I
though.
really like him. I really like him. Like I love him, but I like him. Yeah. Like I like being around him. Yeah. He's my best friend.
Samesies.
I love it.
It's a quiz. It's a quiz. A pop quiz. Okay.
Now, for the question of the show, what does Black love mean to you?
And the continuance of our race is kind of the major factor for Black love. And I've always kind of promoted it through my art and through my writings because of what specifically Black people in America have dealt with when it comes to a lot of the self-hate and a lot of the racism that we have to continuously deal with. I think Black love is necessary for us to continue to get to a better place in the country for our existence.
I was gonna say something similar. Yeah, in a country that did and still does try to do everything they can to keep us apart, seeking, finding, and valuing each other in love is, to me, what that definition is. Despite everything else that tries to pull the Black family apart, you're making sure that within that household, you guys are a unit.
These next two questions are for Amin. Black men have been given many false narratives. What's one you would want to change? What is a difficulty that Black men face and you've endured?
I think I've always thought of not being a stereotype because, being young and being from Baltimore, it's very easy to fall into a stereotype. I have friends that became a part of the system and fell into the stereotype very easily. And I always kept in my mind I didn't want to be a stereotype because it would have been an easy excuse for me. Like, oh, I didn't have a father, my parents died, so excuses, I can go to this and I can go to this and be a stereotype. And I would say that Black people are, or Black men are not a monolith. And so there's so many different versions of how we can be. And, because the country built itself off of racism, the ideology of how black men are is embedded within the system. So what's promoted isn't what's actually happening because there's so many black men and black fathers taking care of their kids and being families, and so much of that is happening on such a massive scale that it's not being promoted. So I would say that that whole narrative is a false narrative that just feeds the system.
And as a black woman, it is perceived mostly to be like, oh, you're hard to deal with as well. You have an attitude problem, or you're not approachable. Um, what would you say to change that narrative and give people an understanding of a black woman?
We are probably the most loving group of people that you'll ever get the pleasure of getting to know. So move past the exterior of this maybe straight face that you see walking through the grocery store is not because we're mugging you or anything. We are thinking about our kids, our parents, work, everything. That doesn't always come with smiling like bubbles are flowing. That comes with, our minds are going, I gotta do this, I gotta go do this. But we are the most loving, the most caring, the most motherly group of people out there. Give us a chance and you'll see how much love we can give. There's no limit, there's no end to it.
If you two were a part of the revolutionary change for African American people in our time and day, who would you be more like, Malcolm and Betty or Martin and Coretta?
It would be Malcolm for me. 'Cause I'm such a big fan, and a lot of his ideas and ideology has influenced a lot of the art that I've made, and so and that's always my mindset, especially because naturally as a kid I was more like Malcolm in more like Martin in being kind of turn the other cheek. And as I got older, I had the mindset of wanting to fight back a whole lot more than just being able to be like, they did this to me, I'll love them through it. But not everybody learns that you can love somebody through being terrible to somebody. So it's like sometimes you have to show these people like, I'm not going to allow you to do this to me, and there's a consequence for you doing something to me. So
very similar. I was thinking Malcolm, very similar sentiment. I think if you asked me this maybe 10 years ago, quiet resistance would be where I would go, like Martin. But that doesn't work nowadays. I think our generation has tried to do a little bit of quiet resistance. It's not working. So you need to hear me. Yeah. And it's respectful resistance, but it's a vocal resistance. And I don't think in this climate we need a quiet resistance anymore. Yeah.
And even Martin towards the end began to regret a lot of the ways that he had led his whole movement and started to change his ideals closer towards Malcolm.
Being black in America isn't just about surviving. It's about finding the strength to thrive despite the challenges. Racial discrimination, injustice, hatred, and the uncertainty of what comes next can weigh heavily on our hearts and minds. Simply maintaining peace, sanity, and stability can be a daily battle. Tonight, let's hear from Amin Hotep and Camille Perry as they share how they lean on one another, protect their peace, and continue nurturing a love that stands strong in the midst of it all. How do you, Camille, uplift this black man after he comes home and is going through a tough time just being who he is in this world? And the same for you, Amin. How do you uplift this beautiful black woman and keep her as radiant as she is right now with a smile on her face coming in? Because the world that you both go outside to is not always kind to us. So you both can answer that however you like.
I remind him who he is, who his mama named him. There was thought behind that name, Amenhotep, like you're a king. And not just that being something that we tell our partners, like you literally are from birth, we're meant to be a king. Hold your head up, because when he gets beaten down, like you'll physically see it. He'll lose like 2 to 3 inches. And I'm like, we're the same height, baby. Hold your head up, shoulders up, chest out. And he'll do it like it's 5 inches right there. Like go in here and show who you are. Like you're meant from birth to be a king. Let them know who you are.
We recently went through a situation where she dealt with the stresses of her job. Her job was being ridiculous. I just kind of had the sentiment of fuck that place, you know, because so many other jobs that I've seen her work, well, a few different jobs that I've seen her work, she has the ability to provide a service of care that is noticed from the patients as well as the administration. And they take advantage of that. And then it gets to a point where it's just getting burnt out by giving this high level of care and then being treated like it doesn't matter. And I make sure that I'm there as backup to be like, how these people are treating you is not a representative of the effort that you're putting into and how you're making these patients feel. And I just try and make sure that I remind her of the lives that she's changing, that she doesn't know that she's changing.
That is beautiful, and that is definitely needed, and that is clearly why the both of you are blessed to be here next to each other looking amazing and healthy, not just physically but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually throughout this entire interview. I have been blessed to see peace, prosperity, love, dedication, the support, and the patience that you talk about, you know, as that song. I've been blessed to see that through, because I've just taken a journey with everybody else through your love story, and it's beautiful. And I pray that God blesses it to grow with every breath that you take. And, you know, remember to implement all of those rules and all of those grace and mercy and all of that into your relationship and into each other. And prayerfully, God will bless you with an amazing marriage. Amen. Now, we may have been in LA,
But my baby brother Amin, being born and raised in Baltimore, will always be a Baltimorean who is simply thriving in LA. Thank you to Amin and Camille for taking the time to sit with me and not only tell us about their Black love story, but give us their authentic journey on how they fell in love, restored love, and preserved love, and made it to this beautiful moment where they have sealed a union before God and their friends and family, which includes me. Thank you to the viewers for taking the time to watch tonight's episode of Black Love Baltimore. This is Black Love Baltimore. I am your host, Bianca. Thanks for watching. Good night. Now, before you go, I gotta let you know who tonight's show was sponsored by. Of course, me, Puppy Obsessions, quality puppies, kittens raised with love. Get yourself a fur baby. Echoes of Love Designs, bring your ideas to life through Echoes of Love Designs, where creativity meets passion to create designs that speak from the heart and leave a lasting echo. Echoes of Love Photography and Memorial Services. Reach out to Echoes of Love by akira@gmail.com for your memorial service needs. The voice of children suffering in silence. Your story needs to be told. Turn your pain into power and allow it to fuel your purpose. When you tell your story, you not only become a voice for the voiceless, you become a voice for the child who suffers silently inside of you. To be a guest, give us a call at 443-850-8345. Just Mommy and Me. Love, support, and empowerment. Helping families grow stronger together. I am an advocate, counselor, and doula for young mothers, dedicated to walking alongside you through every step of your journey, from pregnancy to motherhood and beyond. My mission is to help you transition into motherhood with confidence, clarity, and the support you deserve. I help mothers find resources, guidance, and encouragement to overcome challenges and create a better future for their family. My commitment to you is to empower you with knowledge, support you with compassion, guide you with experience, uplift you with love, encourage you every step of the way. You are not alone. I am here for you. Queens of Transformation, declutter, organize, and decorate. Room makeovers, deep cleanouts, and home organization. Transform your space from messy to magnificent with Akira, Kamani, and Kyra. Enhance your beauty through Blink Beauty Collective. Luxury beauty services, lashing services, add-on services are available. Butter the Stylist hairstyles. Come and get styled where style meets confidence. Her hidden collection with versatile styles. Nail by Smiley, manicures, pedicures, French tips, and more. Book your appointment today to get those lashes done, that hair done, and those nails done. We are queens that hustle. Beauty, business, and boss moves. I am the mama bear, and these are my beautiful babies with businesses. Built on passion, powered by purpose. Follow us on all social media platforms. Bianca Studios. That's where we at right now, ladies and gentlemen, inside of Bianca's Studios. Bianca Studios has provided you with this amazing production tonight. A platform for multiple shows and podcast opportunities. Host your own podcast. I know you got an idea that you would love to bring to life. Well, you could bring it right here to Bianca Studios and let me help you bring it to life. The Recipe Podcast with your girl Bianca and my co-host Brother Jolly is coming back soon, Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Beautiful Lies and the Ugly Truth. That is with your girl Bianca, of course, and Brother Jay, my co-host, coming soon. Black Love Baltimore, ladies and gentlemen, I am inviting beautiful black couples to come and share their beautiful black love story. And of course, Be True with Rue is coming back this fall for season 3 with all new guests and an explosive first show with Bianca. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the executive producer, creative director. I am the one who films these episodes, edits these episodes, and hosts these amazing episodes. Tonight's guests, Hotep and Camyl Perry, I thank you. This is beyond my vision and beyond my expectations, and I hope it is the same for you. This is Bianca Studios. Thanks for watching. Good night.